welcome to another episode of A Letter to My Younger Self. Today we have the ever so talented Azziad on this episode. Karibu sana kwenye show.
Thank you.
Had you had lunch yet?
Me? No.
Najua tumekuweka pole sana.
Come on, it's fine.
But tunaona tumekuandalia mapochopocho.
Naona mapochopocho yako kando yangu.
So feel free to nibble throughout the show as we go on.
Thank you.
Happy belated birthday once again.
Happy belated birthday. You're born 4 days after me.
Yeah. Gemini is in it. We rock. Yeah. We really do. And I'm trying to remember back. How did we meet? Do you remember the first time we met?
The first time. No, it wasn't that. Was it that? No. Wait, do you remember?
Because my first memory is when we went to Coast.
Me too, that's my first
memory. And I'm wondering,
I'm sure it was before Coast. That. Did we just go to the coast? Or maybe we did we?
I think we might have.
Just like that?
It was that, because for our birthday month.
Yes.
Because you remember, I think we went, it was in June.
Yes.
So for me, you and Sauda, yeah?
Yes. It was just like that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we all just discovered we were born in June.
And we were like, let's go to the coast. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How did it feel like writing a letter to 14, 15-year-old Azziad?
I've never thought about... Okay, I think about my younger self almost all the time. Mm-hmm. Not almost all the time, frequently.
Yeah.
But I've never thought it would be that deep to communicate to her like that. Write a letter. And after writing it, I was just going through it and I was like, yo, this is deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain the feeling. But that's how it felt.
Yeah, but this is not really entirely the first time that you've had to write a letter to your younger self, or even let's say call it a message to your younger self, because we're now working with KOTEX for the She Can campaign.
Yes.
And for the guys at home, if you don't know what the She Can campaign is, it's basically where we talk about our period stories and basically just have conversations around our periods to destigmatize the whole thing and normalize conversations about periods.
Yeah.
How has the whole campaign been like for you?
So far so good. It's been good. Mm-hmm. And I just love how we're shedding light into these stories and making these stories normal. Mm-hmm. A period was a topic, or rather a subject that you're not supposed to talk about it in front of people. You're not supposed to say you are on your period. You're supposed to say unanyesha, as in we used all sorts of language or words to just not say, you know what, I'm having my period.
Yeah.
And it's normal.
Yeah.
It's part of life. It's the reason that's why everyone is walking around. So I just love how women are embracing it and they're actually sharing the stories. And I just love how people are actually participating on the challenge that is on TikTok, which you should, by the way, is still going on, the She Can dance. I just use all the hashtags, tag me, tag KOTEX, any other giveaways to be given.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
And so there's actually a video that Esther Kazungu did a while back on types of girls on their periods.
Yes.
Let's cue the video real quick. After watching that video, which of the girls do you think you are?
I am. Okay, I think I have been 3 girls.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I have been 3 girls.
One.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was definitely the top mission agent. Mm-hmm. Number 3, I think.
Yeah.
Where you just hide it, put it somewhere in your skirt, in a sweater, and then you walk. For the longest time, definitely. Mm-hmm. And after doing the first campaign with KOTEX, I think that was in 2020, I got this gift box, and it had a pouch that can fit.
The KOTEX pouch.
Yeah, it fits the pad, it fits the tampons. Yeah. So that is what I use now. But when I'm in the office, because most of the time I get my periods, I'm at work, I say just carry it. I'm just like, see we go.
Yeah.
So we just do what we have to do.
Truly.
Yeah.
I was the one kuingiza hapa in primary. Actually, I don't know if it was the whole school or it was just our class.
Yeah.
But I can remember we used to just put it upper kwa sweater and then you walk out.
Yeah.
Then now, the older I got, I think Fola even used to me. I'll just take it out
just
and
like
I
that.
will go because
Just like that.
sasa.
Utadu?
Sasa.
Imefika.
Yeah, really. And I have to ask, what relationship did you have with your period when you were younger versus now? Like when you compare the two.
When I compare the two, when I was younger, the relationship period I had with my relationship I had with my period, I think I was not really scared, but I did not know my cycle very well, if I'm to say. I did not know, like I was just saying the other day, it took me long to know that there are like the short pads and then the long and then the maxi and then so almost all the time I just use the short ones, and almost all the time it would leak and I'd be like, okay, what's the problem? It took me a while to actually find out, what kuna maxi and the other ones. So I feel like when I was younger I did not know my cycle well. Growing up, I've known it, I've embraced it, and I think I'm more comfortable with my cycle.
Actually, and that's true. And you see, this is why these conversations are important.
Yes.
Because that's when, young girls will learn about the different types of pads.
Yeah.
Even the other day I had Sharon talking about, you don't have to use the maxi tampons throughout.
Yeah.
You can use the mini ones when your flow is lighter.
Exactly. And funny thing with the pads, most people just think, oh my God, you mean you didn't know that? But I did that story, I think it was last year but one. And funny thing, almost all comments, ladies are like, what? Me too, I didn't know. So, yeah, these are stories that needs to be shed light on.
Exactly.
Shed on.
True.
Yeah.
And, we can all agree, again, the same way. Even all of these euphemisms, like calling it anti-flow, my peas.
Yes.
They can be fun and jokingly at times, but I feel like we need to get to the point where, you just confidently can say, I'm on my period.
I'm on my period.
Yeah, because I have like a little funny story.
Tell me about it. I'm
funny,
here for it.
More embarrassing than funny. It was a couple of years ago in high school. My stomach had an issue.
Yeah.
And I'd gone to the hospital and I'd gone with my dad.
Yeah.
So then they were like, okay, urine sample, blah, blah, blah. So then I was on my period. And so then some of the blood got into the sample. Yeah. So I hadn't told the doctor I'm on my period, and they hadn't even asked.
Yes.
So then the lab results come out and the doctor is panicking. The doctor is like, oh my God. So there is traces of blood in your urine. Like she's already writing all of these tests for me to go and get done.
That's bilharzia, right?
Hey, Sasa Mimi, instead of speaking up like immediately and being like, no, nanyamazapo, then I'm just saying as it's escalating, I'm just like, oh my God, Maxine, open your mouth.
You're just chilling.
I just like open your mouth and say something, but I don't know why I felt so embarrassed to just be like, it's my period. Niko napa, they're talking about being admitted. I was like,
excuse me, sir.
I said, it's my peas. And he was like,
peas?
What? Peas. And he's like period. God damn it.
Because I'm a panic, so he's like, peas. What do you mean by peas?
What is peas?
Yeah. Oh.
Anyway, he just cancelled everything and was like, okay, then everything else is fine. Your tests are good. So yes, this is why we should stop. The shame around the word
periods. And
period.
It's your. Okay, people tend to believe, or rather think, or rather ladies, we've grown to be told that when you're having your periods or periods conversations, you don't talk about them with your dad. Who said so? So it's your parent. Really. And at the end of the day, for people who have been raised by single parents, because I know a lot of my friends who just have their dads in their lives.
What's supposed to happen.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, so for you guys at home, be sure to follow both me and Azziad on Instagram to see more about our Shikan stories. There'll also be so many ways that you guys can also participate and be part of the KOTEX campaign. For now, before we get into the second part of the segment, we can read your letter first.
Okay. This is a letter to my younger self at the age of around 14 to 15. So, you're in Form 2 in school. You're no longer new in school. You're still younger than the Form 3 and 4 students. It has been said that Form 2s are like terrible.
I think in Form 2, you're kind of used to boarding school right now, and your future looks like open possibilities. You're not sitting for your final exams, so you're not under unnecessary pressure. You hold out the hope that you will do well for yourself. You're at liberty to dream big and do big. I see that's what you're doing, and I genuinely love that for you. You finally recognize what you have, your aura and influence. You're only beginning to scratch the surface when it comes to understanding who you are and your value. That power you carry, just don't apologize for it. It is okay to have influence and power. Remember how you've always wanted to be a star? Didn't it feel nice to get into drama festivals and music festivals, just representing your school at the national levels? You're talented, no doubt. That gift you have inside of us in drama and your aura and ability to influence others will take you so far in life, and it's going to happen sooner than later. So just keep working at it and be consistent. There are many voices that speak to you, around you, about you. There are teachers saying you're not going to go far, asking you to reduce the time you take in drama and music festivals. They say talent will not take you far in life. So stop anything to do with talent and only do academic learning. But remember who you are. You're a dreamer. Dream big. Dream beyond what you see now. And hold on to those dreams, because they are what give you hope. Your education is definitely important to you now, and it will continue to be important to you in future. Who said you have to choose between school and talent? Just because you're using your talent, it doesn't mean you'll stop learning. So just do what you can. You have friends who have been in your circle from primary school. Hold them dear. As you grow older, you will make fewer friends. Even so, just be very careful who you let into your life. You see those voices we talk about? Those voices we talked about, some of the ones that don't help come from those who are closest to you. So be very careful who you let in. Treasure the true friends. 2 years from now, you'll be in a theater group. It sounds like adulting, right? Some of the things that are happening right now are preparing you for the future. It's not easy to juggle school and drama and music festivals. Turns out you're going to be busy with work and content and meetings, interviews, business, holidays, exercise, and family. You need to work out a very, very busy schedule. So just find balance. Life is crazy. Adulting is not easy as you think it is. You now believe people are good and kind. Sorry to burst your bubble, but good and evil exist in this world as well. You're now kind. Continue being kind regardless of the unkindness of others. Be kind. Spread positivity. Surround yourself with the right people. Positive voices who just want the best for you. I wish I could spend every day with you, just cheering you on when you feel alone. But always remember that you have yourself. You are your biggest fan. And it's very important to cheer yourself on. So just hang in there. You'll get to where you want. Love. 23.
So that was Azziad at around 14 to 15.
Yeah.
And you knew you wanted to be a star like pretty early on.
Oh, pretty early.
But how did that look like? What was the vision? Is what you are right now exactly what you envisioned, you being a star, or was it something different?
I never know how to explain this. But since I was a kid, you see how you'd want to be a lawyer or an accountant, or when the teacher asks, okay, what do you want to be? Oh, a lawyer, accountant, and then you hear all sorts of careers.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, I just want to be big.
Yeah.
I just want to be a star. And that is what I always said since I was a kid. I was a very active kid in terms of when it comes to drama and nini. And this was since I was like in class 2, so class 1, at a very tender age. So I would enjoy drama, I would enjoy music festivals. So I think this is those things that just kept me going. And good thing is I found teachers along the way who saw that, and they supported me and they pushed me. And also my parents kind of like realized that at a very age in life, at a very early stage in life. And I think that is just what made it easier, kind of. Have I answered your question?
Yes, you have.
Oh, okay.
You have. So basically, you just knew you wanted to be a star in whatever fields you would have ended up in.
Exactly. Yeah, but I just knew I didn't want any at USG accounting or a lawyer. I always wanted to be on TV. As in, I always because TV. As in, that is what I always wanted to do.
Yeah. And you also mentioned during, that's around like 15 when you knew you had influence. Yeah.
Yes.
So how does a 15-year-old discover the influence that they carry? And when you talk about having influence at 15, what exactly were you influencing, your fellow peers on?
I'm the kind of a person who would come with a watch to school and everyone is like, what? You have that watch? Where did you get it? I'm like, okay, I got it here in town. And the next time everyone comes to school, they have that same watch. By that time, maybe I lost mine or I have another one. So you'd see such kinds of things, such little things. And also when it comes to drama and music and stuff like that, I was quite a big deal in Western region. I would step into a room for solo of us, and people would be like, that's Azziad from St. Cecilia. And you'd see people stop what they're doing and come to the windows to just see what I'm doing. There's this thing that I did. This was bad. Okay, it wasn't bad. I was a kid. I was in Form 3. And Form 3 or Form 2? It was Form 3. It was my last solo class, I remember. And it's not really a competition, but it's competitive when it comes to solo verses. And you'd find that under a certain class, you guys are like 50 or even 100. Like, let's say class 1900, that's how they name the solo verses. So this day we go to a music festival. And because I know everyone is just waiting to see how Azziad is going to perform, I'm like, guys, I don't have a voice, so don't worry. I'm not going to be a threat.
Oh, no.
So I think like this the entire time. So people are like, don't worry, Azziad is definitely not going to take it to the nationals this time. So I get into the room and everyone is waiting to see how embarrassed I'm going to be because I don't have my voice. And I'm just Azziad Nasenya, and they're like, yo, she played us. And I'm like, it wasn't intentional. In this life, you can just have fun here and there. So I think it was just those two little things. And like I said, I just knew. I don't know how to explain it, but I just knew. From the events of life.
Truly, sometimes you just know. You really just know sometimes. And in the same breath, we can tend to romanticize our dream jobs when we are younger. Because like kama mimi nilienda engineering nikapata hey. And like it wasn't really my dream job. I feel like I somehow ended up just doing it.
Why did you decide to do it?
It looked like a very cool course.
So you're like, this is cool.
You see how you romanticize it before you go there and you see everything and just like, guy, here is where I have brought myself. So what would you tell your younger self, the reality of now being a star, now that you're here and you dreamt about it for so long?
Oh, it's beautiful. But it's not as easy as you thought. I think that's
just
what I can
simple
say.
As that.
just simple. And I just say, I think that is what I can say. It's amazing. It's good you're leaving your dream, what you wanted to do. Just don't lose yourself. And I think that is one thing that I'm grateful to God for. I've always prayed to God to give me humility and for me to never lose myself and succumb to pressure. Because you know how social media is, you're there. So, and I'm just grateful to God that I've been able to manage that.
But I think you really have done a good job because like ever since that first time going to Coast up to now, I can't say I've known different versions of Azziad. Ule Azziad too, of course, is the exact same one who's sitting in front of me today. And you also mentioned about the voices that were speaking to you. Some of them have been positive, I hope.
Oh, of course. Most of them have been positive. but you will definitely hear negative ones. But the positive ones have definitely overweight the negative ones.
Yeah, but like you've mentioned, even as you were younger, there were also the negative voices.
Oh, there were a lot of them.
Like for example, you're even talking about the teachers, and it's really quite unfortunate. I mean, I understand that the creative sector in the country, it's not that grown yet, and so people are still being encouraged to take the more traditional jobs that will be more secure. Because I think one thing about our field is that the security is not usually that deep, but then to have someone, like a teacher, dissuade you from going for your dreams. How did that feel like, and what kept you pushing regardless?
Oh, it was crazy. In school, the school I went to, there were those teachers who were anti-students who are who do co-curricular activities. So it would get to a time whereby you guys are done with exams, and then a teacher comes to class and go like, if you're in drama festival, stand up, or if you're in music, stand up. What did you get? Because you want the outings up and you're like, bro, as in, you can't. Okay, I don't understand how they used to think that just because you're out of school, it means you can't concentrate in school. I mean, there's time for everything. It's just like, it's so sad and unfortunate, because when it comes to games, they would never look down on people who are in games.
The sports. Basketball.
Yes, sports, basketball, volleyball. As in, you can do both. But when it comes to drama and music, then all of a sudden there's this discrimination because nyinyi mkienda out, nafikiria vitu zingine, and you can't concentrate in school and in class. So good thing there were these teachers who were, yay, we love co-curricular activities. And I got a lot of support. I can just give a shout out to the late Joseph Kubende. We also had a teacher called Jackie who was really nice. Eric Mulati was amazing. I think these are the teachers who helped me through. There are a lot more, but these are the ones that really stood out and helped me through my childhood.
And then fast forward to now, or rather not even really now, but like 2020, where you make the music, the video, the dancing video, and then it blows up. And for people looking, from the outside in, it really looked like overnight success. It just looked like this girl found one video and then she danced that one video and
that was it.
Overnight success. And one of the things that this podcast specifically likes to bring to light is the fact that no one is an overnight success. A lot of things is usually hard work meets preparedness meets so then opportunity meets preparedness, basically. So then what would you say about that? How do you feel like you were preparing yourself and then the opportunity arrived?
I think I started preparing myself when I was born.
You came out of the womb dancing.
From the womb, when I was in the womb, because my mom loves dancing. So I feel like I was prepared from the womb. I'm sure my mom danced a lot. I've never asked her that. I should. Again, these are things I always felt. So when I finished my high school, I joined a theatre group called Hearts of Art, and I met amazing people who just also pushed me through with the theatre. So nimemaliza tu form 4 na tafuta tu kahasol luku nje, then the theatre, tunafanya shows at Lyons, Kenya National Theatre, and then that is where I met my manager, Peter Kawa, and he was like, you know what, I see something in you, we need to tap into that. That's when he signed me. That was like 2 years before that was in 2018. That was way before. I was like, I mean, cool, I didn't understand what you mean really, but it's fine. So he used to send me for auditions. I'd go for films, be an extra in films and whatever. I shot my first feature film in I think 2018 or was it 2019, where I was also amazing. So I was just doing things here and there. And then there's this deal that came, and it was really big. It was supposed to be a TV series, and I was supposed to be amongst the main. We were like 4 main characters. So we signed the contract. Everything was well. That's like 2019, mwisho. And then boom, COVID happens, and then they're like, you know what, we're not going to shoot it now. We're going to shoot it like in January. They're like, no, we're going to shoot it in March. They're like, no, we'll shoot it later. So by the time Sapo to go March, maybe 2019, nishaingia TikTok. By the first month on TikTok, I had already figured everything to be verified, because then you were supposed to have 500,000 likes, 50,000 followers, and I think you should have been on the platform for 5 months.
Yeah.
So the only reason as to why I wasn't verified on the first month was because I had not been on the platform for 5 months. So I had to wait for 5 months. But I also received the award for the fastest growth in East Africa. As in, I was receiving these two things. So you see, as in, yes, it's fine. I've not gotten to that. I've not gotten that attention, or rather I've not gotten where I want to get, but these are leading things in my life that are building up. And that is the same year that I joined Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. That was in 2018, and I also received Best Actor. And I remember it is Abel Mtua was there, Stature Bet was there. So these are people who saw me. That is before 2020. So me kumbuka hivi time yote I'm doing theater, I'm doing school, I'm also trying to find out, okay, what do you do on YouTube, what do you do on Instagram, what do you do on TikTok? So, and then 2020 happens, April. And then boom, guy. Yo, I was not shocked. I was not shocked because I saw it coming, not like that, not at that particular moment in life, but I sensed it would always happen. I was shocked because, and I think the reason that's why I wasn't shocked, it's till date, if you go to my videos, scroll down kabisa TikTok, that is not my most viral video. There are videos that went viral before Utawazana. But that did not escalate, or rather that did not blow up as this other video did, simply because it did not go viral in my country. They went viral in different places where, I mean, those people don't know me. So, but this one went viral. It was a Kenyan song. It's in my country. So I think it is what escalated everything. So I love using this line from Saudi Soul. They never know the story before the glory. So people will never know the hard work you put before that particular moment. They'll just think, she just woke up one day and then she just did it. And it is just that made her today. You get me? So I think it's life. The most important thing is the foundation and the process and where you want to go. So
truly. So like for guys listening back at home, when you have that dream, small steps every day until you get where you want to be. Now let's talk a bit about friendships, because you've mentioned that you have some close friends who you've kept like all the way since primary, but even since then you've had to let go of a few people because they were the ones who were part of the negative voices. So how do you deal with friendships now compared to how you dealt with friendships when you were younger, and how are you able to separate the wheat from the chaff?
I've learned that in life, the closer the circle, the lesser the trouble. And if you keep your circle small, it's intimate even to you as an individual. You have fewer friends, so you just know, if I say my clothes, my nini was white, you just know who said it. Other than having a room full of people, you say something, you don't know who said it, you don't know who said what, you don't know who's going to talk about you. I think it's life. And I look at it as, in life there are people who will be there, not because they're supposed to stick through till the end, but there are people who are just meant to be in your journey. Okupitisha to maisha through a certain stage and you let go. And it's okay, you learn from those experiences. What I've learned is, imagine pick the few that you can, who love you, who support you, move with those ones. You don't need 5 million people. I'd rather have 5 people who I know I can call in the middle of the night and be like, you know what, come, and they'll drop everything for me, rather than having 5 million people who just be like, alikukol usiku, pia mimi alinikol, and you get me. So I think, and it's peaceful that way.
So you can say that the difference between how you approach friendships is that right now you're more quality than quantity.
Exactly. Quality than quantity.
And you've always juggled a lot, from like back when you had school and you had music festivals, drama festivals. Then now here you are, radio presenter. You are still influencing. Uko na meetings kutoka sangapi hadi sangapi. How do you learn how to juggle everything so that you don't get burnt out?
It's crazy. It is crazy. I say God cannot give you what you can't handle. So there's a reason as to why I have what I have. And I also have a very strong team behind me that just help me make this work easy. Me uchoka sometimes. And nikichoka, by the way, I rest. I'm just like, you know what, give me 3 days. I don't want to do anything. Let me just rest. But I think prayers keep me going. And also just the team around me. They make work easier. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've really come a long way, like since the 2020 video.
Yeah.
It's such a good thing to see, actually. I think out here we're very proud, we're very happy of you. Is there anything coming up soon? What next for Azziad that we should be looking out for?
Oh, we have a lot of things coming up. I believe in letting the letting the success work for you. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Alama za dukuduku.
Let us wait.
Yeah. So now, as we wrap up, you wrote a letter to 15-year-old Azziad. Now we usually do a time capsule sort of thing where you can leave a message to Azziad 10 years from now. Yeah. So you can take a second, think about what you'd like to tell future Azziad. That should be how old in 10 years?
In 10 years, 33.
33.
I go with the last digits
You
of
are
the years.
23. Oh my God, I would have never guessed. I don't know why we thought we were age mates. I really, like, all these years, Azziad, I've always thought me and you are age mates.
Are you serious?
I really
Imagine
have.
it's okay. Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
It didn't work in this context, but it's fine.
But look at all of these things you've done. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you. I am.
Incredibly proud of yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, leave a message for 33-year-old Azziad.
Hi. You've come a long way. You've done so much. And I'm proud of you. Keep going, because you're just getting started with life. Yeah, you just hit 33. You've got a long way to go. You'll be a billionaire. Oh, you are a billionaire. Good night, good morning, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. Yeah, I think that's what I can say to her.
Yeah, I think your letter will be the easiest in the future to look for you, because I just know, like, when I turn 37, that's when now I'm bringing for you your letter.
God, don't be like that. And it's 4 days later.
At least it will be in the period.
Oh, wow, I have work to do. I have work to do.
Yeah. The billionaire will be waiting.
Oh yes, we will be.
We
will all be billionaires. I will be.
Amen. So that is it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for coming to the show, Azziad.
Thank you for inviting me.
I really appreciate. Don't forget, guys, check the description box. I will leave Azziad's page as long as all of KOTEX pages. You guys can follow along on the She Can campaign, and there will be opportunities where you guys can also share your She Can stories. Until next time, that is it for season 3. Always remember to work hard, have good intentions, and trust the process. Bye, guys.